I'm here today to share 4 tips that you can be successful in the fitness industry.
You've got the battle bag here.
Yes, the ground and pound.
Answer that question.
Some left jabs.
Give me a yes and no answer. I said answer that question. Most Muslims, in your opinion, do want peace.
Oh, absolutely. You know, most people don't just want to go about their daily business and live their lives. They really don't want to, you know, be involved with anything that is terroristic.
Today, 3 years after their last appearance on the show, fitness pros Ryan Shanahan and Rob Riches are back. Ryan's going to tell you how to make it in the business as a successful fitness celebrity, and then Rob will demonstrate the battle bag, a mixed martial arts workout for getting ripped six-pack abs. And later in the show, Shawn Rae is a Pakistani singer and human rights activist who's working to help strengthen the hand of progressive Muslims against extremism. He's come out with romance and Christmas albums. But up first, Ryan Shanahan. Great to have you back, Ryan.
Gregory.
3 years. That time has flown by.
Yes, I launched my career right here on the Gregory Mantell show, and a lot has happened in the last 3 years, so thank you.
I love it. You said you got, what, a sponsorship out of this.
It's amazing. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. And kettlebells, I launched them right here. You were the first show to demonstrate kettlebells. Someone, fitness company, wanted to put together a kettlebell DVD program. They YouTubed kettlebell, and our video came up, and I got the call, I got the interview, and I was the guy chosen to do the kettlebell DVD. We have an infomercial now. It's a successful company. And
hey, I think I want a commission now. Well, that's great. Shake my hand. See, we're fixing people up out there. No, but I love it. Oh, and I do want to say one other thing, though. As we were saying before the show, sometimes on YouTube, people comment about the kettlebells that we used last time. And I just wanted to explain the reason that we had 5-pound kettlebells, because people say, those are teeny tiny little kettlebells. Before the show, well, you were flying in from Canada, so you couldn't bring the kettlebells on the plane with you. But I went to a local sporting goods store near the studio that morning, and all they had in the store were 2 tiny little 5-pound kettlebells or whatever they were that we used. Yeah. And literally I asked them at the store, I said, do you have anything else? And they said, no, this is all they had. So I bought the only 2 kettlebells in that store, which shall remain nameless, and I brought them here and we used them. And that is the whole awful history behind.
Yeah, and we still got a great workout, you know. That's what I mean? So chill out on the comments.
And he still got a contract out of it, okay? So but you have but you're also actually doing more of a motivational type thing for helping people make it. Well, a lot of people email me and say, you know, how do you make it as a fitness trainer or make it in the business? So when you actually came to me with a topic for today, I like that, because I've heard that from the audience.
Same thing. Everyone's, Ryan, okay, you made it. How can I make it? And I'm here today to share 4 tips that you can be successful in the fitness industry. Number 1 is with this show, it's like I said, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. So you got to get out into the media. Email Gregory Mantell and see if you can come on the show. Check out newspapers, other local shows. Get your own YouTube videos out there and post it. It's really, really helps. So you got to get out there in the media and in the public eye and start working on your material. And
well, a producer friend of mine, Jackie Jordan, who's been on the show several times and works with a lot of experts on various TV shows, local and national, always says, build your platform. But absolutely, you know, getting it out there. And I won't go off on a tangent, but I can't tell you the number of people who've contacted me from having seen people on the show, sometimes the networks about various things, wanting to reach people. So I know that it definitely works for people.
Well, the great thing about your show, it's global. It's not a local LA show. It's not just North America. This is global. I mean, you told me you have people emailing you from Iceland.
Yeah, we really do.
And that's the great thing about the internet and YouTube, is get out there and create your character.
And worse, we even have Canadian viewers.
Yeah. Worse. Come on, you were hammering me last show about Canada and the Eskimos and stuff.
I've been watching the accent too. I'm sorry. Whenever the Canadians are on, I always have to comment on the accent, you know. But they still keep coming back though. So. And but what were some of your other tips that you had, though? I know you had the 4-point program. What was?
Well, tip number 2 is it's very important what you read. I'll go into a fellow trainer's house, and first thing I do is look at their bookshelf. And most of the time, they've got a bookshelf full of how to work out books, fitness books, physiology books. What I always say is, get another bookshelf and fill it up with business books. Or the great start is just go to your bookstore and pick up the magazine Success Magazine.
Oh.
It's a great magazine. You get a CD in there that you pop in your car. It's a university on wheels. You turn your car into your university. And it's one of those things where you want to learn about exercises, but you also have to learn about the business.
Are they sponsoring you too?
No,
I thought that was a really good plug, by the way.
I am. Hey, if you want me on the cover, I'm on it. But it's a really good magazine, and it's helped myself and a lot of other people. So that's a good start for reading material.
By the way, I saw on Facebook that you were just at Max's place yesterday, since Max has been on the show, Max Wetstein. Did you see his bookshelf, and does he have anything other than... What does Max have on his bookshelf?
Max is doing quite well, and he's actually contributed in my new ebook, my Trainerology ebook. So he's helping out along with Rob Riches, sharing their information of how other people can be successful.
And I should say, actually, just another kind of offshoot of the show last time is that you met Rob for the first time, and you two have sort of stayed in touch off and on, or...
Yes,
so.
As Rob will tell you, he's been quite successful. Both our careers were launched right here, and it's amazing. It's incredible.
I didn't even pain to say it.
Now, moving on, point number 3 is, like, what we're doing here is we're talking.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people, you network and you meet someone, and you got to be able to converse with that person.
Right.
Or if you're training a celebrity or anyone, you don't want to have silent moments. So a great thing for conversation is an acronym I have. It's FORD.
Ford?
Yeah, just think of Henry Ford, Ford Cars, Ford. And that's family, organization, recreation, and dreams. So for example, Gregory, where are you originally from?
From Ohio.
Ohio. Oh, great. You got to tell me more about that. I've been there. I got some stories for you.
You've been to Ohio?
I have been to Ohio. I loved it. Now, what was the first time you ever did this show? Do you remember your first episode?
I think it was June or July 2002. I don't know where you were, Francine. No. Yeah, actually, I remember the summer, I think, of 2002 was the very first show.
Oh, great. Now, when you're not doing the show, what other things do you like doing? Do you get out and hike in the LA hills? What's some of your hobbies?
I think I'm editing a lot. Actually, I love to travel. I do, hike and run, but love to travel. And
okay, now let me tell. What's your dream car?
My dream car. Wow. You don't think I have the dream car? Everybody who knows me is laughing when they hear this question.
Ferrari or Lamborghini? Let's make it easy.
Here I'll go off on a tangent. When I was growing up, I loved those cars, but when I got older and lived in LA with LA traffic, and I realized when I see the way people drive around here and I don't want to be in a Lamborghini and get run over by something around here. So I want like a big, strong car, lots of armor. I think the Dominator. I drove the Dominator, the Storm Chaser's Dominator. I think that is my dream car.
Great. Now, see what we just did? We covered family, organization, recreation, and dreams. And we can have...
He turned the tables on me, which is an interview I rarely let people do, by the way. So he pulled a fast one with that.
And we could go on forever. So you'll never get stuck, lost for words. And just remember that, Ford. Family, organization, recreation, and dreams. And you can go on forever with that. And that's a great success tip. And that'll come in handy. That's one of my secrets that I'm revealing today.
All right, well, have we covered, actually, I think you also had something about finding a successful person.
That's very important. I did this myself. Find someone that's doing what you want to do and model that. As you said, latch on to them.
That's right. Don't let them go.
Find out as much as you can. Arnold Schwarzenegger was kind of my model, and I wanted to do what he was doing, and I read everything I could about him. I haven't met him yet, But now in this day and age, what you can do is you can email people.
Become Facebook friends.
Exactly, and people that are successful always want to share their success. And that's what I'm doing with myself is I wrote a new ebook. It's called Trainerology. It's 50 tips on how to become a fitness celebrity.
50 tips, okay.
And it's 50 tips from like what we just covered here to how to get contacts, how to get fitness contracts, supplement contracts, how to train celebrities. It's all in there, and that's available on ryanshanahan.com.
And you're still doing the kettlebells?
Kettlebells are hot, and it's good. It's good.
Okay.
Kettleworks.com and ryanshanahan.com.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan, for
Gregory,
coming back.
thanks for having me again.
3 years later, and up next, Rob Riches. We'll be right back. And we are back. Joining me now is Rob Riches. Rob, great to have you back after 3 years it's been.
It's been 3 years, yeah.
Well, actually, with you it was a little bit less because you were on the show twice. With Ryan, it was 3 years, so two and a half years.
I met Ryan on your show.
That's right.
We've worked together since, so thank you for bringing us two together.
You're welcome. Another success story. And I hear from your fans all the time. They're always saying, when are you going to have Rob Riches back on the show?
No.
So are you happy now we're having Rob Riches back on the show? And we got some questions for you later on from them.
Okay, cool.
But first, what have you been up to? I see you've got a whole stack of stuff here. What's in this stack?
Yeah, well, I bought some, it's kind of like a show and tell to come back on and show you what I've been up to for the past 3 years. So, well, let me start with this. This is probably the proudest thing.
That's right. 2009 World Championship male fitness model winner. Shake my hand on that one.
Thank you. WBFF World Fitness Finals, and that was September 2009. So that was the kind of the height of my
That was Toronto, right?
That was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
now I think Obi won this one this year, right? Or 2010?
Yeah, you know, I stepped back and let Obi kind of get the limelight this year. So
we've had them both on the show, so you know we're not playing favorites.
Well, hopefully he'll come back this year, and him and I can have.
Are you going to compete again? You didn't for
I was in Europe for the when the competition was happening, so I was with my family. It's my cousin's wedding. So yeah, family comes first.
So you'll be back this year, though.
Definitely, I will.
Okay, we're putting Obi on notice.
Yeah. Oh, he knows.
And you've got a cover here. What's this?
Cover. It's another Canadian magazine. Actually, we've done quite a lot with the Canadian neighbours. But yeah, this is one of the magazine covers that I'm fortunate enough to have been on.
And who's the woman?
The woman is the lovely Heather Robertson, and she is actually on the latest issue of this January issue of Inside Fitness. And I'm actually inside that again, so we're again working together.
It's your show and tell, but I feel like I'm taking over. But what's
okay? Let's move on to these. There's a few DVDs here.
Oh, okay.
Again, having done the competitions and worked with a few magazines, I wanted to put down some information that other people, because they keep asking how I work out and what I eat, and to be able to email them and write back, it takes a lot of time, and I just thought, why not put it onto disc and they can watch it and actually learn a few exercises or get some new ideas for some recipes.
And maybe sell it too.
Well,
I think Rob has a good business head on his shoulders here.
It's not cheap being in the fitness industry. Yeah, you gotta eat and look after yourself, and obviously work out.
And anything else you want to show us? Oh, actually, what's this? This is the grip. What's the grip?
One final thing here, yes, is a product that I've been, again, lucky enough to work with, an inventor. Just to quickly show, this works on isometric muscular contraction, so it's a neat little handheld grip. If I just turn it on for you.
It's like measuring my heart rate or something, or what?
It works
body fat?
on, it tests your push and your pull. So if you hold the arms out, there we go, and push in.
Push in.
Just the hands push in on the meter as much as you can.
Okay. So I don't just slam it on the floor.
Or you could do that.
And what am I telling how strong I am? Is this it?
It can, and it's great to be able to test like your bench
And
stress.
what do you get when you do it?
Let's turn it on and I'll show you. Okay. So if you've been working out your training program for a number of weeks and you want to actually see if you can see the pounds there in. So I'll do a push. You can see all the muscles tensing.
42, 44. Is that good? What's 44?
That's about 44 pounds of pressure for those seconds. It's cold though here, so obviously you need to warm up.
We're in the refrigerator today. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Final thing, I'm working with a Spanish underwear company. So getting around the world and living.
Spanish underwear. What's Spanish underwear?
Yeah, they're called ES Collection. They're the second largest in the US, actually, outside of the big name brands here. So they're in my home European country, and I've been fortunate enough to work with them on several different tours, and I've done a calendar with them too. So
is Spanish underwear different? Is it about the cut or just?
they like to show a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, you can check them out online.
All right. Now you've got the battle bag here,
Yes,
and
I
I
do.
hear you're gonna show me some battle bag moves.
Yeah, I'm going to
what
break
is
down
this
a few
thing?
exercises, and actually you've got your gloves on too,
Yeah,
so
I'm
you've
before the
kitted out
show, I put
already.
them on.
And yeah, I'll show you and get you having a go too.
Okay.
First, let's create some space. And the first one I'm going to show you is called the ground and pound. We're going to drop him down to the ground. I'm going to start by putting a knee on where his abs would be. So this is great for, anyone can use this.
Oh, so this is
Man,
actually
woman.
a person. This is their head and this is their torso.
This is great for aggression too.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
you've had
yeah.
a tough day at the office, or
Beat the crap out of them.
pretty much, yeah. So what we do is we're going to kick this leg back for stability, and then focus on this region here, the head. We're going to do 8 combination punches. So. That's our workout. So
Okay,
I'd
so
like
that's the punch to the head, or what do
you
you
to
call
help
this
us
one?
to go the ground and pound.
This is great. Now, and it's not that I'm going to pretend this is a guest.
No,
Okay, and I'm on
absolutely
top of
not.
him, and what I put him in the.
Yeah, both arms. So without holding on,
both?
left, right, like combinations are. There we go. So working the shoulders, the
It's not that
arms,
I've ever wanted to do this a few times, right?
abdominals. But he's going for it there. So to take a pound. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, save some
What if I
energy.
don't want to stop?
Well, that's the great thing about this. Unlike conventional workouts where you're in the gym lifting weights, they take you through a very fixed range of motion, which puts a lot of strain around the joints and ligaments. This, because you're continually moving, you're working the abdominals, you're hitting the shoulders, the chest, the back, the whole body gets a workout in pretty much one movement.
This is pretty cool. I can see getting into this in the gym. Do they get, I don't know, do they get kind of worried though if you're doing this?
Well,
in the
you can do this at home, you can do this
Do it at home,
at
okay.
the office if you...
At the office,
next,
yeah.
The next one we're going to do the choke and punch. We're going to get him into a headlock, and we can do some...
These are
the side.
great. Yeah, this is.
You can see with the obliques, again, the abdominals, they're rotating around. All the power comes from the shoulders. It's explosive power, and it builds up and
So
conditions the
first
muscles.
I grab him around the head.
Yeah, you've got it already. And
Answer
then,
that question.
Some left
They
jabs
give me a
and
yes
hooks.
and no answer. I said answer that question.
You feel that work in the arm, or the side of the obliques. Good for shoulder too.
This is giving me ideas.
Okay, I'm going to take the battle bag on. We'll move on to the third exercise that I want to show you. Turn it over this way.
I really recommend this for any reporter. This is actually a good kind of.
It's great if you work with people. It's a great kind of workout plan for after having done that job, because of course you get to take out the aggression. And this one is the knee to the ribs, which kind of explains itself. We're going to hold ourselves up like a plank, so again working abdominals here, and then bring a knee in, thrusting at the hips. So it's great for building up power. And of course we can drop down into a plank, and if you want, do some more body blows.
We've only got a minute left, but did you do the full? I know it said the 5 exercises. Is that
Those are the 3 main ones that work
those are the main
the
ones.
whole
okay.
upper core.
Okay. Well, I think we've got just enough time then for a question from one of the fans. Sorry, I don't think we're going to get all these in, but Josh Fisher in London, one of our English viewers, would like to know. I know Rob has mentioned that he has mantras that he uses to help him, whether it be with his diet or lifting that last heavy rep. I was wondering what they were, because I know many of his fans struggle with these things. He's obviously quite a cerebral guy. What else does he tell himself in his mind to keep himself at the level he's at?
I'll keep this one really quick then. The main thing within the kitchen comes to 3 W's, which is what you eat, when you eat, and the weight that you eat, i.e. the amount. And if you can keep tabs on all those 3 factors there, then that will give you the body and the conditioning that you need when you're in the gym.
Okay, thank you very much, Rob.
sir.
Rich is back again. I'm just going to
Get back on the bag.
We'll be right back. And we are back. Joining me now is Shawn Rae, a Pakistani singer who's trying to spread the word of moderate Muslims and has 2 albums, a romance album and a Christmas album of all things. Great to have you here today, Shawn.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Well, that does kind of get your attention, a Pakistani or Muslim singer with a Christmas album, #1, and the romance thing, which, you know, because extremists, I guess, dominate the news so much these days.
Exactly. So, yeah, you're absolutely correct.
So you're here to spread a more progressive or moderate word of what what it means to be a Muslim, or their outlook on the world?
Absolutely, because when I completed the Christmas album last year, late last year, and went on an intercontinental tour to 8 different countries in the Muslim world and in Europe, the response was phenomenal. People from the Muslim world just loved the fact that there was a first Christmas album from the Muslim world in respect of Christianity, using Jews, Christians, and Muslims together in order to complete this album. And so it was very, very positive.
And you said actually most Muslims, in your opinion, do want peace.
Oh, absolutely. Look, living life as it is, you know, getting some sort of a purpose going, being married, having kids, you know, and all the things that go along with it. You know, it's a tough job as it is. So, you know, most people don't just want to go about their daily business and live their lives. They really don't want to, you know, be involved with anything that is terroristic or anything like that. Absolutely.
But yet, I liked your comment and what you sent me in the email too. Though you said you're not here to paint a rosy picture, though, and just say, look, you know, that it's a perfect world, and all Muslims feel that way, but certainly you feel the vast majority do.
Absolutely. There are obviously a few Muslim extremists that have taken over. I mean, it took 19 guys to blow up the World Trade Center, 18, and then you had Osama bin Laden and other people, so less than 50 people made something happen. There happened to be 1.5 billion Muslims.
Right, because I'd asked you, someone in the news had, you know, was given a percentage of how many extreme Muslims there were in the world, and they had said like 100 million or something, and people were debating that number. And but as you said, the problem is even if it's a small percentage, though, these days it doesn't take a lot to do a lot of damage. Though, is the problem.
You're absolutely correct. Yeah.
So. But now, when you've gone around, you say, though, you've had a positive reaction to what you're trying to do, despite the fact that you feel that a lot of Muslims don't want to speak up because they're maybe intimidated or scared of what will happen if they do speak up?
Well, I mean, it's like if you live in a neighborhood and there are all kinds of drug dealers that are shooting people around, you know, you could have 5,000 people in a town and there would be 10 drug dealers or whatever it is, and people are always scared of them because they might get shot or hurt or whatever it is. The same thing is that a lot of, just like, for example, the governor of Pakistan, Salman Taseer, got assassinated, 27 bullets, because he was actually protecting a Christian lady who was caught up in the blasphemy laws of Pakistan. And because he wanted to get some anti-blasphemy laws, his own bodyguard shot him 27 times. So he was actually trying to do a lot of interfaith harmony by being himself, visiting the Christian lady in jail.
Now, do you have problems when you go on tour, or can you go back to Pakistan and not have problems, or do you have to watch?
Well, I was in Pakistan, and I was actually in a lot of television stations and magazines and newspapers, but I had to be careful where I was going. In Pakistan, I did have to have some security because you don't know where you're going to meet the terroristic element, an extremist element.
Now, you were born in Pakistan, but moved to the U.S. when you were 18?
Yes, I was born and raised in Pakistan, and yes, I've been in the United States since I've been 18. I'm an American citizen and proud to be an American, and consider the United States to be not just one of over 200 countries, but to be the capital of the world, because of the fact that there's no other place, no other land in the world that has so many people from the human race here, and that's, of course, also it being the oldest democracy in the world, so we're 200 years old. So America is the beacon of light and hope for the whole world.
Well, it's always interesting to hear immigrants' perspective, because sometimes as Americans, we might be a little more jaded about the way things are at home or critical, and yet you still feel that, well, you know, the perception is that maybe a lot of people in the Muslim world don't think it's quite all of what you're saying it is, but yet you have no problem with calling it the greatest country.
I've done that even on TV shows overseas in the Muslim world, because I truly believe that America is a beacon of light and hope, and because of the fact that it's the oldest democracy in the world, people are looking up to us. As a matter of fact, we as Americans, I'm an American citizen now, have to actually understand that, you know, we are ambassadors for the world, and what we do in our democracy, or whether in our political parties, is what other people that are trying to have democracy in their country, they're looking up to us to see what we're doing. So we have to actually ratchet down the rhetoric between our own political parties and be more civil, because that's what we're teaching the new countries that are trying to be democratic.
And how did this come about? Again, I mean, it's great what you're doing, but if it is not the most, well, truthfully, I'm an atheist. I'm not really Christian myself. I do celebrate Christmas and enjoy it. But, so, I mean, I can understand why a non-Christian would celebrate Christmas, but yet you wouldn't necessarily expect a Muslim to come out with a...
Well, let's put it like this. The Pope and the King of Saudi Arabia, King Abdullah, in 2007 decided to have a dialogue between Christianity and Islam, which constitute half the population of the world. Okay, so if you have a problem with Christianity and Islam, with the war and terror and all the clash of civilization, you've got a whole bunch of problems that we didn't look out for. You know what I'm saying? To be all in trouble. So they tried to find commonalities between the two religions. And so with that dialogue, I was asked by people from the Muslim world, not only in the United States, but also overseas, to be the first person to sing a Christmas album from the Muslim world in respect of Christianity, to use music to bridge gaps. So that's why I've been doing this.
Now you have an interesting background. You also have a perfume line, or fragrance. What is
fragrance line? It's called Oneness, and it's oneness. Bring out the nobility in you. Now, if you believe in oneness or live oneness, that means you're one with yourself. It means you got your act together, and you're one with the world. And if you're into oneness, you love everybody, no matter what race, caste, creed, color, gender, or orientation. So you love everybody. You don't care about who's what. That's who you are. So you bring out the nobility in you, because it's noble to think in oneness. You don't have to be a noble birthright, but to be noble in your thought process.
Well, I'm sorry, we're almost out of time, but in our final minute, you know, when we were talking the other day, you did say there has been a shift toward more extremism in Pakistan and maybe Iran and certain countries. Why do you think that is in the past maybe 25 years, that it's gone, you know, from a more liberal to a more conservative mentality?
You know, this kind of trend is going on all over the world. It's even happening here in this country also, and in other parts of the world. I think that may have a lot to do with what the economics of the world are like, or what's really going on in the world. People are going back towards religion because they don't understand what's going on. Everybody's warring with each other, not just with guns, but just in words and deeds and things like that. So I think this is a phase, and hopefully, you know, people of enlightened thought and mind will bring us back to, you know, more of a moderate level.
Well, thank you for trying.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Shawn Rae. The CDs, and we've got A World Christmas and A Time to Fall in Love. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.